Hello everyone, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? I want to look at water signs for January 2020. Of course, most of you know that with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, we're in for a bit of a tough month, but nevertheless a rewarding month. The seeds that we plant now, providing we've learnt the lessons, because Saturn is a taskmaster, and Pluto, of course, brings forward our core truths, and also exercising that which no longer serves us. Providing we've learnt the lessons and we plant the right seeds, we fertilise the bed, then we've got every chance of achieving our hopes and our dreams as we really springboard off January 2020. So, you know, a lot of people are going to be calming down in January. Those that understand this is a very rare conjunction. It hasn't really occurred in more than 500 years. It begins really around the 25th, 26th of December with the solar eclipse. And of course, as we move through January, particularly around January 12th, things could get a little bit rocky, so I'm just giving you a warning there. I'm going to go first to Pisces because I feel Pisces, I mean, all the signs are going to feel it, you know, make no mistake, they're all going to feel it. But I feel with Pisces, there's an opportunity here to, and have a look at in your chart where your Pisces falls. Because I feel that there's going to be an opportunity for a lot of healing in Pisces. I feel that it's been tough. There's been a lot of emotional situations. Of course, Pisceans are said to be the most psychic of all the sun signs. But I just feel that there is an opportunity for healing in January 2020. So let me just turn off my phone. I don't want it ringing when I'm doing my tarot scopes. These readings are for your sun signs. You can watch them if you have an ascendant or rising sign. Either Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio, or check where your moon is. They are a general reading though, so they're not for everyone. If it doesn't resonate, just move on, come back in another month or two and make that decision and watch it again. So let's get started with Pisceans. Let's tune into their energy. So when I started, I do feel that there is some healing. It's almost as if it's been said that Pisceans, have the qualities of the oceans. They are extremely intuitive, and as I said, very often very psychic. If you're a Piscean and you're feeling like you need to take a little bit of downtime to reflect in January 2020, then take it, because I do feel that there is a higher authority coming through into any situations that are troubling you, Pisces, in January, and there is an opportunity to really unpack those buried core truths of yours. Take them out and examine them, reflect on them, and use your intuition for healing. It's going to be a very deep and meaningful time for you in January, I'm feeling. That's why I wanted to start with you. I'm very, very drawn to how this Saturn-Pluto conjunction will affect you. Okay, so let's have a look at Pisces in the month of January 2020. What can you tell me? Okay, so there is light coming through. There is a divinity here. There is something karmic that you've got to put to bed in January 2020. And I am reminded to drink from your own well-being. Don't rely on external sources. You've got what you need to nourish yourself, Pisces. So let's have a look. What's coming forward for Pisces in January 2020? Pisces, January 2020. Okay, our first card out. Yes, you have been ruminating. There is an issue, a situation, could even be a relationship that has been occupying a lot of your mental space. And in fact, you've been restricting yourself through the thoughts. Each of these swords here is almost like a mental. In some decks, this Eight of Swords depicts somebody almost, lying on a bed prone because of the I guess the mental turmoil that you might be going through. Again, these core truths, Pluto's bringing forward these core truths of yours. And of course, Saturn is a hard taskmaster, let's not forget. So I hate to say it, but you're not going to be able to avoid really unpacking these truths, but it will be healing for you. Let's bring the laptop down and see what's crossing you. There could be some kind of deception around you at the moment with this Seven of Swords. This is what's worrying you. So it's a restriction. It's a worry around somebody, and I'm getting drawn to love relationships. It could be in the family. It could be romantic partnerships. Could be someone you're very, very close to at work, or even a circle of friendship. Somebody has let you down, or you feel that they've let you down. And of course, that's the lesson I feel. I'm feeling that the lesson for you is to understand that you have a choice about what you let impact on you. Now, the foundation of the reading, there is a chance for healing. We've got the Sun card here, and I'm glad to see that card in the foundation. There is a chance for happiness. There is a chance for illumination. But I feel first you've got to do that reflection. I'm just having some water. Yeah. Okay, so there has been a lack of clarity on this situation in the past. The Seven of Cups is all about illusion, delusion. It's also about not being able to make a choice. Why can't you make a choice? Because I feel that the person that you are, I guess, focused on has let you down, and I feel that there is a little bit of you don't have enough clarity around what has occurred. So hence your thinking, but you're looking to the other person rather than looking to yourself. This could be a situation as well in general. So this could be not necessarily applying to a person, but rather a situation or an event that has let you down. There has been disappointment here, I'm sorry to say. So these are pretty heavy cards up front here. I'm using the Celtic Cross spread. Let's have a look at what's coming forward. An opportunity, as I thought, Pisces, I was drawn to you at the beginning of this reading to examine those core truths, perhaps take your focus away from what someone else or something else has done to you, and put it on yourself. This is a time for introspection and reflection, and really, I guess, stepping back into your power, because the Six of Wands is all about victory for you. It's all about emerging from dark times and being victorious. What allows us to be victorious is the illumination that we've actually obtained. Right at the moment, you with this Queen of Pentacles, could be a Taurian, Virgo, Capricornian energy, but we also have Saturn, Pluto in conjunction in Capricorn. So there will be a focus on where you live, how you earn your money, the practical. I guess life matters. And, really looking at how you can do things. Have you been too trusting? Have you allowed other people to get under your guard because you haven't done yet? I'm feeling you haven't made the choices. You haven't done the work yet on yourself. So this is a time, again, to unpack those truths. You're going to do it because these are very positive cards. This is the new starts. You could be making a decision in January. I would hope that you don't decide around January the 12th, that you leave it a few weeks to make decisions, but there are new starts for you. So I feel that you are getting it. What are you getting? You're getting that you've got that there's an opportunity to become stronger within yourself, to focus less on the 3D and more on living, using that intuition of yours, using those psychic abilities to connect with the flow of life, so that nobody unseats you in the future. There is a hope here for new starts, and it's interesting, Pisces, that I'm drawing these Pentacle cards. You could receive an offer of a new job, a new income stream, a change of some sort. So there is definitely for a lot of signs this mental, I guess, anguish in a way. As you search for illumination, what has gone wrong and why? Expect things, I think, post-January to start to speed up. As I said at the beginning of this reading, there is an opportunity to plant the seeds in January if you've learnt the lesson, and those seeds will allow you to move forward with your hopes and dreams. These are huge major arcanas, Pisces. I think that you've learnt the lesson, or by the end of January, February, around that time, even through to March and April, this is what you're going to be doing. I've got both the Chariot and the Eight of Wands, and I've got the World card. These are fairly major changes coming forward in the first half or the first quarter of 2020. Let's have a look at what's underneath the pack. So yes, a lot of signs are pulling the Judgment card. The Judgment card can be inevitable endings, but it can also be second chances as well. So once the lesson has been learned, you've earned the right and the opportunity for another chance. So yeah, please, take it easy. Take it easy in January, because you are, and again, here's our Hierophant jumping out at us in the beginning of the shuffle. There is a higher purpose and a higher authority operating now for you in this lifetime. You're at this particular moment for you. I guess the seriousness of whatever you've been grappling with has a kind of a karmic edge to it. So the Tower, again, is bringing something to a close, something that needed to come to a close. And again, I'm drawing so many of the same cards here for all the signs. So this is certainly a meaningful time, the Hierophant, the divine working in your life. So what are you achieving? You are moving toward this unconditional love here. And it is around not realizing that even though that person may have let you down, even though that situation may not have gone the way that you wanted to, even though you didn't get that job, or you've been undercut at work, or whatever has occurred to you because you're such an emotional being, to really have rocked you, understand that the lesson for you to learn is to put your faith in yourself. And this is exactly what the message of the Hierophant is. So I'm glad I did that reading for you. I'm going to move into Cancer now, Cancer's energy. And let's see what's going, because Scorpio, I feel, is going to really come forward with an absolute decision to change. It's almost like, bang, they decide. So we'll leave Scorpio to last, because I think it's going to pack a bit of a punch. But for Cancerians, they are they're a cardinal sign. They are the leaders in terms of our water signs. And so, when I say they're going to shout the loudest, they're going to be letting us know. I feel they're not going to have any trouble expressing themselves in January 2020. I feel that that's the secret to success for Cancer in 2020, is to talk it out. To talk it out. Now, we know Cancerians are feeling beings. They can pick up. They can read atmospheres very well. They like to be comfortable. They actually bring forward such a beautiful energy, particularly in their homes. It's a calm, comfortable, chilled out energy. So they're not going to like what's occurring in January 2020 because emotions are going to be running high. This is a conjunction that can actually have huge, tremendous change. With our community, our government, sectors, it's almost like the old is being broken down for the new. So this is going to impact on Cancer. They're going to sense it. Saturn can bring forward fear as well. So Cancerians are not going to like the way that they're feeling in January 2020. But the counsel here is talk it out, talk it out. So what's happening for Cancerians in the month of January 2020, Spirit? What's happening for our beautiful, beautiful Cancerians with their warm heart and the way that they just open up and share and bring forward those beautiful feelings. What's happening for our Cancerians? They're just not going to like, because Saturn, Pluto is all about, this conjunction in Capricorn is all about looking at our shadow sides, and they're going to feel it. So not only looking at their own shadow side, they're going to feel it in the atmosphere, in the collective as well. So please talk it out, Cancerians. Please don't bottle anything up. If you're not feeling comfortable, then talk it out, because it might be nothing to do with anything around you. You could be just picking up on the universal collective changes that are occurring at the moment. Show me what's happening for Cancerians in the month of January 2020. What's happening for Cancerians, for Cancer in the month of January 2020. What's occurring for Cancerians in the month of January 2020. Okay, so illumination. So it's almost as if you're going to be saying, "I told you so. I told you so," because you do know, don't you, Cancerians? You know a lot. And again, I'm urging you to talk, to speak up, because you could play a role in illumination as well. So, come on down, Cancer, and tell us what you're feeling and what you think. What's crossing you? Yes, communication, clarity, speaking your truth, helping others. Look at these two beautiful cards. If you want illumination in January, Cancer, then you speak your truth, because you have a role also in helping others. Oh goodness, I can't make this up. The Six of Pentacles, can I? Giving and receiving help. That's where you're going to be in January 2020. Cancerians do that. It's almost like second nature for them. They lead and they help. And I feel that you're going to be called upon to help somebody or something in some way in January 2020. And you are absolutely the authority to do that here. So do step into your power. Do take that opportunity to communicate. There is you have strengthened, I feel. Your solar plexus chakra has been growing in the past 12 months. This is wisdom and awareness, and this is a leadership role. So for some Cancerians who haven't yet stepped into a leadership role, this is in the past position, you're going to be called upon to do so. And it is a role where it could be you might be called upon to become a speaker, a teacher, a mentor. There is a helping role here for you. Capricornian energy, Saturn Pluto conjunction. It is going to hit you, and again, you might yell the loudest, but that's okay, because you can absolutely do that. What you mustn't do, Cancer, is start obsessing about. I feel it's this this discomfort, uncomfortable fear feeling that you won't really know how to put it into words. The counsel that the devil brings forward is unchain yourself from any negative emotions and put them instead into this beautiful sun energy, this beautiful happiness, joy, illumination, and spread it round, because I do feel that you've got the opportunity to do so. Again, a counsel against focusing on loss with this Five of Cups. I always, fives are all about change. So I do feel that the lesson, we've all got a lesson to learn in January 2020. The lesson here is not to focus so much on the loss. This person has their back turned to the Two Cups that are remaining, instead focused on what they've lost. Yet, in the major signifier cards, we have the Sun card for you, which is all about happiness. And we've got giving and receiving help. If you're not giving help, you're going to certainly be receiving it. But first, unchain yourself from the obsessive compulsive thoughts that are running around in your head that bring forward these negative emotions, where you just focus and are drawn to the loss and not to the opportunities and the happiness and love that is surrounding you. Okay, actualizing something into reality, and I am drawn to this Magician's cup here. My finger's right on that cup, hands going up to the divine, other hand is pointing to the earthly realm. When you achieve that beautiful happiness, that optimism, that hope and faith and trust, when you develop the compassion and gratitude, those positive, deep emotions, you start to be able to create. What are you creating? You're creating your own life. Okay. What is the environment around you, Cancer? We've got two swords here, which are both pointing to the need to face some truth, to stand in your truth, but also to speak your truth. Because I'm getting, with this Ace of Swords, I'm getting a need to speak up. Okay, sometimes Cancerians can bury their emotions. You need to speak up about them in January. The hope here is that there will be a new start, this Ace of Wands, and there's very much for all of us divine guidance in January 2020, because we're going to need it. Okay, now look at this. I'm being drawn to these two cards. Which cup are you focusing on? I'm focusing on these two, and I'm focusing on this one. Somebody is going to offer you something. Are you able and are you aware enough to understand the significance of the offer? Okay, it could be a way of, it could be an opportunity to talk something out, something that's disappointed you. But if you take that opportunity, again, we go back to learning the lessons and planting the seeds for how we want to continue in 2020. If you learn the lesson, if you speak your truth, and if you also have compassion and for whatever you're worried about, whatever loss this has been or whatever disappointment this has been, the Wheel of Fortune is suggesting that things are going to change. After disappointment, things are going to change for you. That's a completion cycle. It's ruled by Jupiter. We have Jupiter in Capricorn at the moment. And I do feel that things are going to turn around for you. But the real lesson is where you put your focus. Family, legacies, savings, achieving again this 10, which is a completion, what you've been working toward, whatever's disappointed you. It could even be a close family relationship. I've got the accent this month on relationships for all signs, but particularly for water signs, because they're all about the emotions. And this conjunction is not going to be easy for you. You're going to feel it. But I have to say, something is changing for the better. All right, now we've got earthly energy here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This night comes forward. taking action. There's an offer here for you. Something is changing for the better. We've got the King of Pentacles. You could have been very worried about finances as well, Cancer, because we've got the Nine of Swords, this anxiety, waking up in the middle of the night, carrying this heavy burden here. It could be finances you've been worried about. Something could have dropped out, or there could have been a loss of some sort. But things are starting to change now, or will be changing now, for the better in January 2020. You know, that wheel of fortune doesn't just miraculously come forward all the time. When it comes forward, you actually listen to it. And because I've got the Sun here, two major arcanas, two of the most positive cards, or the most positive cards in the pack, alongside with we've got the Five of Cups and the Devil, and we've got the Four of Cups. The lesson that Saturn and the Pluto conjunction brings forward is, where do you put your focus? So a fairly challenging month again for all signs, as I said. There are a couple of counsels that are coming forward for you. This is a generalized reading, but if it's resonating, speak up. If you're not feeling optimistic, if you're feeling discomfort, if you're wondering why you're feeling so unsettled, speak up. But also, I've just got you shouting here. So it's almost like I feel you've got a real role to play in helping somebody else. So we'll see what the month of January 2020 brings forward. But for those that have been struggling, for those Cancerians that have been struggling with something, including financial issues or disappointment in love in some way, things are going to turn around. But as I said, there's lessons for everybody in this conjunction. Okay, now let's move on to Scorpio. I feel that there is I'm just getting the word thud, that something is going to really, you're going to make a decision about something. You've been thinking about this for some time, and you're probably, like a lot of us in this holiday period, taking some time out to really think about 2020 and what you want to do in 2020. It's almost like you sit bolt upright in the bed and go, right, that's it. Okay, so whatever it is, whatever change, whatever problem, issue that you might have been thinking about, this conjunction will bring forward a rebirth, but before the rebirth, we have to go through the death, unfortunately. So I have my Venus in Scorpio, so I'm wondering how this conjunction is going to affect me. I do feel that it will be deciding that enough's enough. For some Scorpios, it will be deciding enough's enough, and it's time for a reset. And you will come to that conclusion, even though you've been thinking about it all year, you'll come to that conclusion really quickly in January 2020. Now, I'd probably say maybe you hold off for a couple of weeks to firm up that decision. But I just feel it's like you just make that decision and that's it. So anyway, let's see what the cards are going to bring forward. What's coming up for our darling Scorpios in the month of January 2020? Somebody could be giving you a gift, because I am seeing you opening up some. Now, I know it's Christmas, of course, but there's something else here that's coming. This could be what the change might be about. It's almost like a lot of ribbon cutting. I feel that you're going to be opening up the box of opportunity in some way in January. I hope that's the case. Now, that opportunity could be surrounding this decision you've got to make. It could be around love relationships. It could be around career. It could be around, this conjunction can bring forward some really radical changes. So that's why I'm saying be careful. There are endings and beginnings there. This is a conjunction that has the ability to change the foundations of things. So I do feel that, you're going to, if you don't make a major decision regarding something in January, you're going to be very, very tempted. It's almost like you want to. Okay, so let's have a look at Scorpio in January 2020. What does we need to know? You have been, well, firstly, you're very fatigued because I'm seeing the Nine of Wands. But you've also been putting barriers up as well. I do feel these are barriers to basically keep people out, but they are also keeping you in. And that could be what's changing as well. Let's pull some cards. Yep, the Eight of Wands. This is the feeling that I get. It's almost like an urgency for change. What's crossing you? Justice. Okay, right. Now, justice comes forward when we need to learn something, but also it's a rebalancing as well. So within these two cards, the reason for your decision is you might recognize the need for a rebalance, a reset, which is what I'm feeling. But justice also requires us to learn that lesson too. Justice can be for other people, but it can also be for ourselves. So again, with that Nine of Wands image, you've been keeping other people out, but you've also been locking yourself in. That's going to change in January. You're going to make a decision. Something I'm feeling lets go. That barrier comes down with the Page of Pentacles being the foundation of this reading. It's coming down. You're coming back to yourself in some way. That's the decision. Moving from this Queen of Swords energy, Scorpios can have a sting in their tail. They can be extremely intense, but when they let go and they trust, they are just absolutely dynamic to be around. So something is changing. You're moving. Yes, it's great to be objective with this Queen of Swords. It's kept you stable. But as I keep going back, it's what have you stopped yourself from experiencing through putting forward just this objective, can also even be a bit of a harsh facade. I think it's time to take down the barriers. Yes, it is. With this Judgment card, this is inevitable endings. This is quite a karmic cycle that you're finishing now. It's been quite painful for you, Scorpio. You feel this intensely, and so January, it's almost like a culmination of everything. Things, where you feel that you've had to defend yourself. And I'm feeling, as I said, it's a feeling sign. I have my Venus in Scorpio. I'm feeling a lot of, you may have been through quite a lot of pain. I'm feeling it in my heart chakra, because what causes us to put barriers up, it is painful situations where, if we let our guard down, then we're going to have to feel it, aren't we? But I think this is coming to an end now, this overprotectiveness of yourself, this shutting down of the emotional side, it's coming to an end. I'm seeing laughter. I'm seeing laughter and joy and expansiveness, because when Scorpio opens up, that's exactly what you get. Yes, there has been a Tower moment. That with this Justice card, you could feel like you've been wronged in some way. But again, and of course when that happens, what do Scorpios do? They absolutely shut down. But it can be a matter of perception as well. So again, like all the other signs, there are lessons for you in January. With that Saturn and Pluto conjunction, remembering Saturn is a taskmaster and Pluto will bring forward some core truths. So I do feel there's change. There is absolute change, and that's what you're considering at the moment. The old way is coming to an end. You want to go forward into 2020 with something new, because 2019 has been difficult. The change that you're going through has been slow. It's been like a slow moving, painful kind of episode here. And as I said, this is a general reading for Scorpios. It is time to put down the burden. It's time. There's an ending here. We've got the Four of Swords, but it is reversed. And the Four of Swords is talking about rest. This is in the hopes and fears position. You might be doubting yourself in some way. You might be, am I strong enough? Am I good enough to do this, whatever it is that you're deciding to do? The Lovers. Okay, so we have a Gemini energy. This could be one part of you wants to do something, the other wants to do something else. This could also be close, loving relationships. But I'm feeling more it's the heart chakra. Opening up that heart chakra will give you the answers that you need. I'm being drawn to the green and the pink in this angel's head. This is all about, these are the colours of the heart chakra. Once you start to open up that heart chakra, this hope in the star card comes forward. It's probably been a long time since you've felt this hope, unfortunately, and I do feel that there has been this cutting off in some way, but it's coming back as soon as you start to activate that heart chakra again, and put to bed this ending that you had to go through. Then things will start to turn around. We've got the Seven of Wands, this standing your ground, feeling you have to defend yourself. I'm going to put the Queen of Swords next to that card there. You've got your wish fulfillment now with these Nine of Cups, and I'm going to put the Lovers and the Star card next to the Nine of Cups. You've done your review over why you were feeling the way you were feeling. The other thing that's going to carry you forward, Scorpio, is your passion, is your inspiration, is your, our leadership abilities. You've got the ability to sit on this throne. So stop doubting yourself. I'm going to put that by the Four of Swords reversed. And we've got new starts, and I'm going to put that next to the ending of something and the beginning of something else. This is a cause, pardon me, I'll just have some water. This is cause for celebration, Scorpio, without a doubt. Pardon me. My throat chakra. Okay, I've been talking too much, but now it's cleared. And perhaps that's something to do with this new start for you. Perhaps you're going to be talking in a different way. Perhaps you're going to be communicating in a different way. What is the way that might come forward? It is this opening up of the heart chakra, which is absolutely beautiful energy, and this feeling of optimism and hope. This is actually what you've achieved now, what you will achieve will carry you through in the longer term, remembering that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, it is the lessons that we learn in January that we're being presented with. And if we can learn those lessons and turn them around and rediscover and reintegrate that loving energy, opening up that heart chakra, boy, that just transforms the future. And we're going to feel it when that happens to you. I hope that I'm around you, Scorpio, because, wow, here is the King of Wands, the leader. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all signs for tuning in, all water signs for tuning in. I hope that the readings were useful, certainly intense, but I'm under no illusions that the tarot scopes I do for January 2020 are going to be intense. Okay, thank you again.